Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the brand new Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Justice League. This is Batman. Before we do anything else, let's grab our tape measure and put it right next to Batman. If you count technically his ears, Batman is close to 7 inches tall. This is the Steppenwolf Build-A-Figure wave, so included with this Batman, you get yourself the torso of Steppenwolf. It very much has similar color motif as the Wonder Woman wave Ares, which had a lot of these kind of blues incorporated in there. In fact, I think once you finish this figure and stand him next to Ares, they're actually going to look like they're from the same group. I do like the blues. I'm sure this will be an ongoing color choice palette for pretty much the rest of the figure's body, including his head. As it stands right now, it's going to be a little bit bigger than the figures themselves, so it warrants at least a build-a-figure rather than just having the figure standing on its own and being a figure that you would buy on its own. Not really much to be said. Of course, we still have to add all the other components to it. Let's move it to the side. So here we have Batman, and this particular Batman, I guess, I don't know what its technical term is for this outfit. It's kind of like his tactical suit. If you to kind of say that he looks a lot like Night Owl from Watchmen, that's basically an ongoing theme. A lot of collectors and fans of the Justice League also are all feeling like he kind of really looks like Night Owl from Watchmen. Of course, he's making use of some brand new sculpting. Some brand new sculpting that wasn't in the previous, say for example, Batman v Superman figures. One of the also things that they are incorporating is these weird capes. Part of me likes these capes because they are a far cry from the original deluxe figures that we got from the Batman v Superman, which if you wanted to go back and watch those videos, the capes are laughable. They're almost like plastic, like I said fruit roll-ups. They're not really that far off. What they've done here is interesting because it's kind of like a faux leather, and then on the interior, it's got more of a traditional looking fabric. In fact, when I was looking at it from the front, I knew it was going to be fabric, but I thought it was going to be fabric closer to this and not have the sheen. It seems to be okay because it doesn't feel like it's a cheap fabric. I can't tell you whether over the course of time this is going to fray at the top here by his cowl, but for the most part, it's a nice change than having a pre-sculpted cape, which seems to be like something that the multiverse figures are seemingly to get away from. It doesn't look like they're using much in the way of sculpted capes anymore. I think I would have preferred almost like this material of fabric being the main fabric overall. The sheen kind of makes it feel cheaper than I think what it actually is. But at least it's a departure from sculpted capes, and it's a far departure from the plastic fruit roll-ups that we got with the basic or the original Batman v Superman figures. So here we have, again, Batman in his tactical suit, or whatever suit you want to call it. I really hope that he doesn't have multiple suits in the movies, which I think really dilutes the character a fair bit. Don't really want it going the route of, like a Batman and Robin sort of thing, where Batman's every scene, he's got a new costume. It seems like he only seems to have, so far, 2 costumes in the movie. I don't know if he may have more. But the coloring is actually pretty good. I like the head sculpt. Of course, this one has the goggles down. Now, there were also exclusives available, or will be available, of a Batman and a Cyborg. I don't know, I think they're Walmart exclusives, but you basically are getting a regular costumed Batman, if this isn't your sort of cup of tea. So here we have like darker grays, which I think right off the bat is a vast improvement from the way the original light gray, or almost silver gray, that the Batman v Superman Batman had. Really poor color palette on those figures. Definitely a step up here. And they've incorporated some nice pattern work in there as well. Where there aren't the dark grays, it looks like he's plated with armor that has the dark blacks, and you've got the silvers there in the kind of like knee shin guards, the knee caps, the sides. Also on the gauntlets by his little blades there on his hands, his gloves. Some nice straps there on the sides there. I have to say, like, the silver really seems to work well with this particular Batman. It doesn't feel like it's forced. Again, I don't know how long he's going to have this outfit in the movie, but I'm kind of digging the way it looks, I have to admit. I also quite like the very large bat logo on his chest. Again, still very similar to the original Bat costume. Just again, some additional plating here. At least it basically isn't the same costume, and it's just a bright silver, which was Batman v Superman. That was terrible. Head sculpt, though, is passable. And again, I like the goggles down. The mouth area here doesn't really look like Ben Affleck, but then again, if you're buying these multiverse figures, they're not going to be on par with something like you would get from a NECA, for example. Digging the silver, though, I have to admit. I like the silver. And the texture work goes definitely a long way for me, especially in these little areas here. You can see all that little tight woven sculpt to the gray. I'm really digging that, I have to admit. Now, this particular Batman has 0 accessories. 0. Not that you could really give him any because he's technically got closed gloves. But it's disappointing the fact that they couldn't have given him anything. I guess from their logic, you're getting the torso for Steppenwolf. That's really all you need. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. So I wish he could have come with a grapple gun or something like that. But this Batman is very bare minimum. Posability on this guy, let's do that now. His head rotates all the way around. Basically, he is a multiverse figure, so you kind of already know what kind of posability you're going to get with this guy. He is a little limited, though, because the plates sit where they do on his shoulders. You can't move his arms any further out than that. You can still rotate the arms all the way around. You can rotate the bicep. When you go to bend the elbow, that's about all you're going to get because this guard plate here, basically the large glove here, prevents any sort of bend at the elbow. That's about as far, again, as you're going to get. You get also the rotation in the hand. Doesn't look like it hinges, though. It doesn't look like there is a hinge. Upper torso crunch. He's got the waist swivel. He's got the forward, back, and out motion on the legs. So classic on the multiverse figures. You can rotate the leg all the way around if you want. He's got a single hinge on the knee. And finally, he's got the pivot in the foot. For the record, though, he does have holes on the undersides of his feet. Does not, however, come with a display base. Despite the fact that this particular Batman really does look a lot like Night Owl from The Watchmen, I'm digging really the overall look for the character, or at least from the costume standpoint. The plastic cape, that kind of faux leather cape that they went with, is a nice different departure from giving him a sculpted cape, which at times I've liked, at times I haven't liked because it really limits what you can do with the figure. The cloth cape gives you a little bit more mobility with what you can actually do with his limbs. I like the color palette that they use, the silvers, the blacks. It's not really my go-to for a Batman. I think I would have preferred a more regular costume Batman, but they are releasing exclusive versions of the Batman and Cyborg that are going to come with the mother box components, and we're going to look at those on this channel as well. Overall, I think a pretty good start for what will be a series of videos, of course, as we put together Steppenwolf. Of course, had to look at Batman first, not only because Batman I really like, but also because it came with the torso for Steppenwolf. Today we were having a look at the DC Multiverse. This is the brand new Justice League, and this was Batman. I guess you could call him Tactical Batman or whatever suit they want to name this particular figure. But overall, a pretty good looking figure. Certainly, guys, stay tuned, because we're going to have a look at the rest of the Justice League members, and of course, through the process of that, we're also going to build ourselves a fully finished Steppenwolf that we're going to look at as well. If you guys also haven't had a chance to subscribe yet to this channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that little subscribe button down below. You won't miss a beat when it comes to future videos, and also don't forget to select that little bell option right below this video and turn on your notifications, so not only will you not miss no future Justice League videos, but you'll also never miss any future videos coming onto this channel as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.